Namaste, beautiful souls. Today we are not going to get up off of the ground. Doesn't that sound amazing? Today is going to be a yin class focusing on stress relief. So make sure that you grab any bolsters, blankets, blocks that you might have, maybe a strap as well, that could be useful. Make sure it's all close by. Get anything that's going to make you feel comfortable and relaxed. Maybe light a candle or some incense, and I'll see you on the mat. So if you have a bolster, grab it now. If you don't have a bolster, you can use 2 pillows from the bed, roll them up, or even some towels. My bolster is a little bit small. I'm definitely going to have to invest in a bigger, better bolster one of these days. But in the meantime, this is what I have. So we will be doing child's pose on the bolster to start. We'll switch our heads halfway through, the direction of our head. And this is yin, so remember we'll be holding the poses for 1 to 2 to 5 minutes, depending on the pose. So make sure that you are in a place that you can feel comfortable, that you can fully release and let go in, okay? Nothing too strenuous. Don't try to stretch too far into any of these postures. Just allow the body to really melt into them. So grab your bolster, take your knees as wide as the mat, and then bring the bolster in towards your body in as much that you'll be able to lay on it, okay? So it might be closer or farther away depending on how big your bolster is. Like I said, mine's a little bit short. You can grab a towel as well to maybe get a little extra comfort there. Walk your hands forward, drape your belly over the bolster, and come onto your right cheek. Make whatever movements you need to get comfortable, and then just allow the body to relax and release onto the bolster. Take your forearms to the mat maybe. Allow the hips to be heavy, and begin to just tune in to the breath and the body. There won't be a lot of cueing during this practice, so just allow the mind to be still, maybe have some music going. Really create the experience of relaxation. Switch over to the other cheek now. Bring your left cheek to the bolster. Notice if this side feels any different. Take whatever movements you might need before finding stillness. And as you're ready, you can gently walk the hands back in toward the body. Come up to a seat. Move the bolster out of the way. And if you have a blanket, it's a nice thing to have right now to place underneath the hips. So you can place it on the mat. Walk forward, bring your hips onto the blanket. Bring your shoulders directly underneath, your elbows directly underneath your shoulders. Press to the top of the feet, engage the legs, so lift the kneecaps off the mat. Heart space yearns between the biceps, lifts up. Allow the knees to relax back down. Dip the chin to lengthen the back of the neck. And this is Sphynx pose. If this is too much on the lower back, you can walk the elbows farther forward to create a little bit less of a back bend. Whatever feels good for you. Remember, we'll be here for a few minutes, so find a place of comfort and stillness. Slow down the breath and send the breath into all the nooks and crannies of the body, all the dark places and the light. Remind your body that it is safe, that it can let go. Draw the shoulders down the back. Make sure they're not creeping up by the ears. Good, release. You can press back into child's pose to counterbalance the back bend. Come to tabletop just for a second. Take the block now. We'll be doing downward dog with the block. Now this is a little bit of a different pose, so it might take you a second to get into. I like to put the blanket on top of the block, but I need to figure out what height I want it on first. So come to your downward dog. You might want to take the arms as wide as the mat, the feet as wide as the mat. And bring the block now to where your head will land. And you'll have to move it around and see what that is for you. And once you're there, you can place the blanket on top of the block. Press the third eye center into the block. Find once again, that place that you can stay in for a few minutes in this inversion. Oh, sorry, honey. I've taken my legs as wide as the mat, my hands as wide as the mat to create a lot of space. I invite you to do the same if that feels beneficial for you today. Keep a micro bend in the joints. Don't lock out the knees or elbows. Feel the support of the block beneath you. Pressing into that third eye center, activating intuition, knowledge, that gentle pressure creates support as well. It signals to the body that you are supported and that you're safe. As you're ready, you can come back down onto the knees and come once more into child's pose just for a second. Just to recalibrate. Slowly come up. You can move the blanket out of the way now and find your way onto your back. Take the right ankle over the left knee. Walk your left foot as close into your body as you can. Flex the right foot, and if this already feels quite intense, feel free to stay here. Or you can take your hands behind your left thigh and draw the left leg in toward the body, bringing the right knee along with it. Release the left foot so you have no tension in the left leg. Flex the right foot. And we'll hang out here for a little bit longer to really release that hip, that right hip. Again, make whatever movements you need before finding stillness and relaxation. And the power of that relaxation is in the breath. So don't release that breath. Don't allow it to go into any sort of shallow breathing pattern. If it does that, maybe you're too intense in the pose. Focus on lengthening the breath, drawing more breath in each time you inhale. Sending that breath into the places where you feel sensation. Supporting your body with the breath. Notice if you've tensed up at all and see if you can release the muscles a little more. If you had your left foot in your hands, release the left foot to the mat and do a couple windshield wipers with the knees. Bring everything back to center. Take the left foot now on left ankle on right knee. Walk the right foot in toward the chest. Flex the left foot. Not towards the chest, towards the body. Flex the left foot. If this is already intense, stay here. Otherwise, you can grab behind the right thigh with the hands or with a strap. Flex the left foot and draw the right thigh in toward the body. Release the right foot so there's no tension in the right leg. Notice where you might be holding tension that you don't even realize. Your jaw, your eyebrows, your neck, your shoulders. See if you can't release that a little more. Make whatever movements you need and then come to stillness. If your mind begins to wander, just gently draw it back to the breath, to consciously sending the breath into the places in your body where you feel sensation. Notice if you begin to feel angsty or restless, if that's a tendency that you have. Acknowledge that now, but let it go. Don't hold on to it or identify with it. Acknowledge it and then come back to our breath. And as you're ready, bring the right foot back down to the mat. Take the knees together, feet as wide as the mat, hands on the belly. For a few moments of constructive rest. To just rest, to just lay here on the mat. It can be so powerful and so needed. How often do we practice gentle self-care? How often do we take a break? Allow your hands to rise and fall with the breath. Your body to be heavy and still. Walk the feet back into center, roll over onto one side, and gently press yourself up to a seat for our final pose. Now take the blanket if you have it, and you can put it under your seat. And we have two options here. One is to come into a yin style cobbler's pose. You're sitting on the very edge of the blanket just so you have some cushion on your seat. Take your feet together and move them quite far away from you in a diamond shape, and then bring the forearms underneath the calves if you can. Otherwise, you can have them up higher on the knees. Yogi's choice. And just relax here with the chin dipped and the head heavy in a yin style cobbler's pose. The other option is the yin style forward fold. So you take your legs long, allow the feet to fall to the left and the right. Keep a micro bend in the knee and make sure that you're not rounding in the lower back. That's why we sit on the top edge of the mat or of the blanket. And actually the blanket might be a little bit high for me, so I'm moving it to the side. But you can stay on the blanket if you'd like. Keep a micro bend in the knees hip distance apart, and just sort of round the upper back. So normally we don't do this, but today we're going to. Take your hands on the outside of your thighs, round forward, draw the chin into the chest, and just allow the head to be really, really heavy here. We'll be here for 7 minutes. And you'll notice that you'll begin to get deeper and deeper into the pose as you allow gravity to take over. So don't be afraid. Draw the chin toward the sternum. Allow the breath to be still. And the hands are just hanging out on the mat, so you're not yearning towards any particular shape. You can just let them be however they lay. Remember to focus on the breath, lengthen the breath. This is our longest pose of the day, but this is really so beneficial for the fascia, the entire back line of the body. To help us with posture. Standing upright, carrying our children or our groceries. So important. So allow everything to release and let go. And focus on the breath. See if you can't send that breath to the places that are beginning to feel warm, to feel sensation. Dip the chin a little more. Release the back a little more. If you're feeling called to it, you can begin to maybe move your chin left and right. Seeing how that perhaps changes the stretch. Maybe move your torso a little bit to the right. See what that changes. Stay here for a few breaths. Over to the left. See what that changes. Find a juicy spot for this last minute or so. As you're ready, keep the chin to the chest, the head heavy. You can turn your palms to the mat and begin to walk the torso upright. Eyes closed, make sure the head is the very last thing to come up. Be gentle, gentle, gentle. Take a big breath when you're upright. Cross the legs and come to a comfortable seat. Bring the palms face up or face down on the knees. Notice how your body feels, how your breath may have changed. And I invite you to take Shavasana. Now, if you have the time for at least 5 minutes. If you don't have the time, we'll close practice now. Draw the hands to prayer at heart center, dip the chin. Take one final breath in through the nose, this time out through the mouth. And flutter the eyes open. Remember that this rest, this peace that you practice on the mat, the power of the breath, you can take that with you into your life off the mat and utilize it whenever you're feeling stressed. I hope this was a releasing and relaxing practice for you. And I'll see you next time. From my heart to yours, namaste.